Push these niggas on me like hood. Push these bitches on me like hood. Push these niggas on me like hood. Pushing this nigga. Silence. I'm stressed out. Be quiet. I'm stressed out. Stressed out, stressed out, stressed out. I wanna rock your world. I wanna be your girl. You wanna take me out, yeah, yeah. Take me out. They done take me down. They done touch my bitch, no. That was the blackout. Let a motherfucker back out. Hey. Put up with a pussy to put down. Rock bottom and shoot shit. Don't drown. Switch your picks when I hit the ground. Rap niggas think they so profound. Gotta look at all the time for their life, cause it's over for you when I come around. Let's go. Not tactics. You ain't not proactive. This is not attractive. I'm in the slow bounce back, bitch. Now pussy. How you say this? Traffic. I wanna rock your world. I wanna be your girl. You wanna take me out, yeah. Take me out. They never take me down. They never take my crown. Bitch, no. I can't let's feed you. I wanna do you like this. All I got is this. We are here today to talk about not only, oh my God, the second round of the NBA playoffs and recap them, but we are also here to talk about the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Kai Park, we back. You know the vibes. Let's get into it, man. First of all, let's do what I did last video. You know, when I recapped the first round of the playoffs, I ranked them worst to best. There's only 4 series in the second round. So for number 4, gonna have to go with very easily. It's kind of easy, no kizzy. I'm gonna go with the Miami versus Philadelphia 76ers. My Sixers. Honestly, man, for the first 2 games, I believe it was 2-3 games where Embiid didn't play. I think it was 2 to 3 games. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was 2 to 3 games. The games where he didn't play were boring as shit. No one really cared. And even the games where he did play, they were honestly very boring. Low scoring. Both offenses with Embiid having a fucked up hand, a fucked up face mask on. James Harden was stinky. Maxey couldn't find his shot. Matisse Thybulle was still on the court. Doc Rivers is our coach. We played Furkan Korkmaz, Shake Milton, and DeAndre Orton all 3 of those people were on the floor at the same time for the 76ers during every single one of these games. So I don't know what to tell you. Miami, Jimmy Butler is probably the 3rd best player in the playoffs so far. No. He's played. If you were to take off the playoffs blindfold, right? Let's put a blindfold off. You didn't see any of these games. You just see the teams that are left, and you saw the players that are left. You would say that Jimmy is probably the 4th best player in the playoffs so far. Honestly, I feel like he has outperformed Steph Curry when it comes in totality of the playoffs. He has been a monster on the defensive end, and he has been a monster on the offensive end. He's making his threes. He's making his jumps, his jump shots. He's making his jumps. He's making his midi jump shots. He's just attacking the paint. He's relentless. He's been phenomenal on both sides of the court every single game. And he hasn't missed a beat, truthfully. And I think that's what puts him over Steph Curry to me so far in terms of the playoffs. Obviously, I know Steph Curry is the better player, but Jimmy Butler has played better. I feel like that's very obvious. There's not much to talk about in this Miami series. James Harden stunk like shit, except for the one game where he didn't, and the one game where he didn't, we won. Maxey wasn't his best. He's the only one who showed heart in the final game, though. Embiid was fucked up. Miami they were better than us for the majority of the series. They played better than us for the entirety of the series. My one problem with Miami is there are gaps in their offenses. In their offense. And what I mean by that is for long periods of time, the Miami won't score. They'll play great defense, but they just won't get a bucket. Either Jimmy's shot is not falling, Kyle Lowry, he's injured, his shot won't fall. PJ Tucker's shot isn't falling. Bam isn't really that guy offensively, and they're essentially their number one guy for offense outside of Jimmy Butler is Tyler Hero, and he's on the bench. So there'll be a long period of time where where the starters aren't hitting, and Tyler Hero is on the bench, and the Miami offense stinks. Oh my god, what the fuck? What do I do with this? Oh my god. Be quiet. I'm stressed out. I gotta fix that. I think that's good so far. That's good so far. Yeah, that's good so far. Honestly, there's not much to talk about, Shout out to Miami. I hope they do well. Let's talk about number 3, the third best series in the playoffs. So, a third best series in the second round would have to go to. It's a toss-up to me, but the last couple games of this series kind of figured it out kind of sold it for me. And honestly, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go there. The Warriors early looked great. Their offenses looked great. Jordan Poole was struggling. Clay was a shot chucker, but they were finding their rhythm. They were finding their groove. Ja was woo. Ja was crazy, man. Ja was cooking. Ja was cooking them boys. It's just, to me, what really did it was the Draymond Green ejection, the Draymond Green ejection, and the narratives and war that kind of came out of it because of that. The dirty play this, the dirty play that. Taylor Jenkins is bitching about the refs and the plays and the this and the that. Steve Kerr, I'm saying that's not part of the code. Fucking Dylan Brooks injures. Dylan Brooks hits Gary Payton in the side of the head with a clothesline from hell, and then Gary Payton midair, he's discombobulated. He tries to brace his fall with his arm. I thought that shit popped out at first. If you looked at that replay, when I looked at that replay, I thought his shoulder popped out of his socket. But it was even worse. He broke his elbow, and Gary Payton is seemingly out of the playoffs so far. If the Warriors make it to the finals, that's the only way I could see Gary Payton coming back to play. But it looks like he's gone for the rest of the playoffs. Then Ja got hurt. People and Grizzlies fans made it seem like Jordan Poole did it because he did that. Like he went for the ball and then he accidentally touched his knee, pulled back, and then people just thought, he tried that, and that was all bullshit. Ja tweeting out the play and saying broke the code. Like, it was just yeah. And then the games without Ja stunk. Besides one, every game without Ja stunk like shit. And the one, what was the one game that didn't stink was the game 6, because I was. Is my memory working correctly? I believe game 6 was the Dylan Brooks game, where his awful shot selection was actually hitting, and then he was actually providing something on defense. And then once that happened, the Grizzlies' offense was flourishing. Desmond Bane was hitting shots, but the Warriors still won that one. It was a good game, but there was just a lot of nastiness. The first 2 to 3 games, I think it's the first 2. But the first 2 to 3 games of this series, you would have thought, we got one. We got one. This is gonna be a classic. And it just, so much bullshit happened and it just didn't happen, unfortunately. Congratulations to the Warriors. The Grizzlies are young. They're up and coming. They're going to be great. We're gonna see them in the playoffs again. I hope we see them. I hope we get Warriors versus Grizzlies again next year. Just run this back. Some way, somehow, run this back. Let's get it again, man. I'll be happy to see that. Jordan Poole's the GOAT. Klay Thompson showed up game 6. Steph Curry, make your shots, my boy. Not against Luka though. Make your shots, my boy. And Draymond Green, stop fouling people. Now for number 2, the second best series of the second round of the playoffs is gonna have to go very easily to the Dallas Mavericks versus the Phoenix Suns. The first 7-game series of the playoffs so far, Luka Magic versus Devin Booker, Chris Paul, the point guard. Man had 14 of 14 in the playoffs, bro. One of the greatest playoff performances ever. Fact. First 2 games, it was looking like the Clippers series, man. I think I even got a tweet saying those first 2 games, it was giving me very much PTSD from that Clippers series, man, where it was just Luka is them first 2 games, Luka was out of this earth. Like, he was making whatever, getting whatever shot he wanted. The threes were falling, the free throws were falling, he was getting whatever, and it's just, but his teammates couldn't make shots, you know? Jalen Brunson wasn't like that. Dinwiddie was awful. Maxi Kleber was good here and there. Dwight Powell was basically a non-factor. And Reggie Bullock and Dorian Finney-Smith, they did their stuff, but it just wasn't enough to help Luka in the long run. Then those first 2 games in Dallas, down 2-0. The Mavs go back to Dallas, and the Mavs are on smoke. They're on smoke. Defense is tightened up immensely. The rotations are much sharper, you know? And the others are stepping up. Jalen Brunson stepped up. Davis Bertans was stepping up. Frank Ntilikina stepped up, given the minutes. He got 9 minutes in game 3, 10 minutes or 12 minutes in game 4. J-Kid said, oh, I like what I'm seeing. I'm like what I'm seeing. He gave him more minutes, and he was cooking, bro. He was cooking. Franklin Ntilikina was locking them boys up, man. 3 for 40. Chris Paul and Devin Booker weren't guarded by Franklin Ntilikina, the Frenchman, the French Prince. Locking them boys up. What are you talking about? Look how my neck clenches. Look how you talking about, nigga. Talking about, nigga. Watch the fuck up, nigga. What you talking about, stupid? Long ass neck, boy, I tell you. What you talking about, bro? My nigga the Frenchman, lock them niggas the fuck up, bitch. Sorry. Luka showed out. Game 2, people, I know this is a huge narrative that went around. I wanted to make a video about it, but I didn't have time. But, you know, people were mentioning how in game 2, oh my God, in the 4th quarter, Luka got targeted. Oh my God. They didn't want to bring up that my nigga Luka was targeting Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, and Mikal Bridges. It didn't matter who it was. He was cooking them niggas. They didn't bring up that, though. That wasn't a segment. I'll tell you that much. That wasn't a segment. That fourth quarter, that was a segment that was getting talked about every fucking 20 minutes. But when Luka was fucking them niggas up, they didn't bring up that, though. But here's what needs to be stated about why I think this series is the second best series of the playoffs, and why I think it's the second round, and why I think it's better than the Warriors-Grizzlies series. The Warriors-Grizzlies had 2 to 3 great games and a lot of blowouts. And then after those two early great games, it was a lot of nastiness. A lot of foul this, dirty play that, bitching refs, whatever. It was a lot of nastiness. In this series, the first game was a blowout up until the end where the Mavs played defense. The second game wasn't a blowout for 3 quarters, and then the Suns Chris Paul and Devin Booker just made every shot over Luka, and it didn't matter. Game 3 and 4 were kind of close. The Mavs were in control for the whole game, but it was kind of close. You know, the crowd, the Mavs crowd was active. Shout out to AAC. They were very active the whole series. And, you know, they really ramped it up. You know, that really ramped it up. Game 5, also a blowout, if I remember correctly. It wasn't even close ever. I think the Suns were getting. No, I lied. Sorry. Game 5, that game was close for 2 quarters. And then the Mavs ran 4 straight plays for Jalen Brunson, and then they didn't score. It was a turnover, missed Jalen Brunson bucket, and another turnover. The Suns scored on every one of those turnovers, and then when Jalen missed that bucket, I believe they scored on that. Once that happened, game was wraps. Luka wasn't even that great in the first half. He was passing out early. He was passing out later than what people think Luka does, where he ISO, pass 2 seconds left on shot clock. That's what Luka was. Luka doesn't really do that. Luka was doing that game 5 for the first half. ISO. I'm a pass up late. I don't know why. He doesn't really do that a lot. He was very either hesitant to shoot, or the Suns' defense wasn't moving how he thought it would, how they were going to move. He didn't like the shot currently, so he passed out. But the game was close, though. I want this to be said. That game was close. Third quarter, the Mavs run 4 straight plays for Jalen Brunson. The game is wraps. It's wraps. Game 6. Oh, game 5 is also when the Luka special thing happened. The Luka special. You know what I'm saying? That's when that happened. But, game 6. Mavs win. Mavs defense clamped. Mavs offense cooking. They were making every shot on planet Earth. Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber, Davis Bertans, Spencer Dinwiddie, even Dinwiddie, Crip with it. He was making his shots too. That's how you knew it was crazy. That's how you knew it was crazy, Crip with it. That's how you knew it was crazy. Even Dinwiddie's making the shots. Chris Paul was shitty. He was shitty committee. Very nasty. I want this to be noted. I ain't saying this, but I want this to be noted. After game 2, Chris Paul turns 37 and he shits the bed. Chris Paul turns 37 and ages 40 years. I've never seen this in basketball, ever, even with old niggas. Chris Paul was 36, 14 for 14, them first 2 games in Phoenix. Oh my God, it's the point guard. Oh my God, it's the point guard. Oh my God. And then what happened? He turned 37 and he shit himself. He turned 37 and he became ass, nigga. Pussy. Fuck what you talking about, nigga? I'm active today, nigga. Fuck what you talking about, nigga? I'm active today. Pussy. Sorry. I'm active today, nigga. I'm active today. Alright? He became shitty committee. From game 3, 4, and especially in game 5, he shit himself. He was ass, pussy. Devin Booker was their only shot creator. Mikal Bridges was hitting nothing. DeAndre Ayton wasn't getting fucking past the ball because Chris Paul was shit. Mikal Bridges was getting backed up by Luka Doncic. Luka was putting his big fat ass on him, and he couldn't do nothing. And then game 7. What happens? I'll tell you what happens. I'm gonna tell you the halftime score. I'm not gonna tell you nothing else. I'm gonna tell you the halftime score. The Suns you know what? The Mavericks had 57 points at halftime. That is, roughly the Mavs, halftime score. Sometimes their offense will die down a bit, but their defense will keep up. So they're not always so behind. But 57, that's pretty good for the Mavs for a halftime. What did the Suns have? Game 7 at home, season on the line. Choked a 2-0 lead to Game 7. What happened? What do the Suns have at halftime? At halftime, the Suns have 27 points. Chris Paul and Devin Booker have 0 field goals. The Suns had 27 points at half. You wanna know what's so crazy? Luka Doncic at halftime had 27 points. That's the Luka special. That's the Luka special. You crazy? Are you at halftime at 27? Luka, one man, he missed 3 shots, I believe. No. Yes, he missed 3 shots, and all of them were threes. I think so. I remember correctly. I believe all of them were threes. Luka at halftime, 27 points, 9 for 12 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. They couldn't guard him. They put DeAndre Ayton on him. He couldn't guard him. Luka backed his ass in the post and got a fadeaway over him. He's a psychopath. Devin Booker couldn't guard him. He's a fucking baby. Chris Paul couldn't guard him. He's a fucking baby. Mikal Bridges, baby. Cam Johnson got his ass put on the fucking floor, nigga. Got crossed up. And game 7. Fuck is you talking about? In front of Lil Wayne, nigga. In front of Lil Wayne, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Fuck out of here, man. Fuck them Suns. Mavs in 7. Luka's the GOAT. Luka's the GOAT. Mavs versus Warriors, Western Conference Finals. I got Mavs in 7, baby. That's my prediction. Mavs in 6, Mavs in 7. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? Luka will be the best player on court every single game. Steph Curry, Luka, Steph Curry. Right here. Luka, Steph Curry. That's all I'm gonna say. Because that shit can... But Luka will be the best player on that fucking court every single fucking game. Nigga, fucking look at my bitch. The Warriors are the Warriors. I'm sure they're going to win a game. But I'm going with the Mavs in 6 or 7. In 6 or 7. No cap. No cap. 6 or 7, no cap. Nobody in that team can guard Luka. Not Kevin Looney. Not Draymond Green. Not Wiggins. Damn sure not Wiggins. Not Klay Thompson. Not Klay Thompson. Not Jordan Poole. And not Steph, bro. Not Jonathan Kuminga. Because y'all put these athletic freaks on Luka, and he cooks them niggas. Y'all put these athletic demons on Luka, and he cooks them niggas, bro. It's not gonna work. The Mavs will probably put Reggie Bullock or Dorian Finney-Smith on Steph. He's gonna see bodies that whole series. I hope the X factor for the Warriors is honestly Jordan Poole, because if either Reggie or Dorian is seeing Steph, if not both, you know. So to me, Jordan Poole has to step up. I fuck with Jordan Poole heavy. Jordan Poole's my guy, one of my favorite players in the league. Jordan Poole has to step up and take command when Steph is either, you know, because he's not gonna shoot great from that series, and he will shoot great games at end games, you know. But I don't think there will be a lot of games where, you know, he's kind of struggling because he's seeing so many bodies. Mavs defensive rotations are tight, and the bodies they put in you, they can defend you. Maxi Kleber can defend a perimeter player. Reggie Bullock and Dorian Finney-Smith can defend perimeter players. Jalen Brunson has a thick half. He's a thick half, right? He can stance his body up. And Luka's, you know. It's gonna be a fun series. I think this could be the best series out of the remaining 2. Truthfully, but Mavs in 7, you know the fucking vibes. Look at the goal. Number 1, the best second round series of the playoffs, baby. The Milwaukee Bucks versus the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum versus Giannis Antetokounmpo. 2 great offenses and defense, a great offensive and defensive team in Miami, and a great offensive and defensive team in the Bucks. They clash. In the playoffs. You don't get this often. In the second round, no less. This easily. That's what I'm. Easily. This was the best playoff series of the playoffs so far. You know, game 1 and 2 were split with, I believe, the Bucks winning 1 and then the Celtics winning 1. And then the games 3 and 4 were also split, if my memory serves me correctly. They were also split. Every one of those games was fun. We had, you know, Giannis. Giannis was unbelievable on both ends. Best player in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. I know I just went on my Luka tirade, but Giannis is the best player on planet Earth. Badly. The the only person I'm taking over Luka is Giannis, and that's it, man. Giannis was undeniable that whole series, defensively and offensively. He had a 44 and 20 rebounds game. I believe that was in Game 6. He had a 24 and 20 rebound game in Game 7, and that was a bad game from Giannis. Giannis is absurd that whole series. They were missing Chris Middleton because he got injured in the first round. So, Drew Holiday had to step up. Drew Holiday, defensively, you know what he's going to bring. But offensively, a lot of these games, I felt like he was forcing shots. A lot of these games, his shot selection was weird. It was off. He was doing too much. And then sometimes when the shots were falling, I'm like, okay, that's what we want to. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. I can't remember specifically the details. I'm gonna actually look this up. Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics. I believe Game 1 that went to the ball. I can't speak. Can't speak today. I believe Game 1 went to the Bucks. 101 to 89. This is a close game up until the end where the Bucks just, the defense, like 89 points, the defense just clamped on, but the offense was just too much. Giannis with a 24, 13, and 12 triple-double. Absurd. Drew Holiday, 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Those are the type of games they needed from him this series, Is that Big Al? Is this the Big Al game? Is Game 2 the Big Al game? No, Game 2 is not the Big Al game. Game 2 is the Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum game, giving you a combined 59 points. 30 from Jaylen Brown and 29 from Jason Tatum, along with 11 points and 11 rebounds from Al Horford and 10 points from Robert Williams. Grant Williams, 21 points. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Grant Williams, the Bucks coaching plan, Coach Bud is one of the worst championship coaches of all time. I feel like that needs to be said. I'm going to say that right now. Coach Bud is one of the worst championship coaches in the history of basketball. Let me know that. The Bucks defensive game plan was to let Grant Williams shoot whatever, and he did, and then he was making them bitches. And games like Game 2, games like Game 6, games like Game 7, they let Grant Williams shoot, and it paid off tremendously. He was making everything. Game 7. The Bucks shot 4 for 31 from 3. 4 for 31 from 3. Open. 90% of the bitches is open. Grant Williams, singular, that one human being, shot 7 for 18 from 3. Grant Williams made more threes. I had a stroke right there. Made more threes than the entire Bucks team. That's how you lose a game. That's how you lose a game right there. Excuse me. Game 3, classic game. 101, 103. Extremely close game. Came down to the end of to the wire. The refs were terrible on both sides. The Bucks, were holding on to the end. The Marcus Smart, that could have been a 3, but it wasn't. Who knows? Could have been a foul. Yada, yada, yada. Bucks win the game. Game 5. Game 4. Celtics 116, Bucks 108. The Celtics won that game in the fourth quarter. The Celtics won that game in the fourth quarter by Big Al. Al Horford. That boy Al Horford was off horse tranquilizers and PEDs, man. I'm telling you, bro. That nigga is insane. Al Horford was off of something. He was off some type of substance. I don't know what it was, but it was some type of substance. It made no sense. What he was doing this series, it made no sense. The defense he was playing on Giannis and the offense he was playing, absurd. 30 points from Jason Tatum, 30 points from Al Horford. Giannis with 34, 18 rebounds, and 5 assists. Great defense all game, by the way. But his cohorts, Grayson Allen, shitting himself for the rest of the series. Drew Holiday only with 16 points. Wesley Matthews only with 12. Brook Lopez at 17. That's a great game from Brook Lopez. George Hill playing 23 minutes in professional in a close game in the playoffs is offensive to me, honestly. Game 5. This is the Drew Holiday clutch block at the end and steal made Marcus Smart look like Superman at the end. Giannis with 40 and 11. Jason Tatum with 34, 6 and 4. Great game from the both of them. Great game. That might have been the best game of the playoffs. No, that's a lie. Game 6. This was the game. This was the best game of the playoffs. I can say that. I can say that. You wanna know why? Jason Tatum had 46 points. Majority of them coming from the fourth quarter. He was cooking any and everybody, man. Any and everybody was getting cooked. Any and everybody. Oh, George Hill. They sending George Hill at me. Yaka. Pat Connaughton. They sending Pat Connaughton. Yaka. It don't matter. He was shooting any and everything, and he was making them. Once, I don't know why Coach Bud thought it was a smart idea to fucking put George Hill and Pat Connaughton on Jason Tatum. Like, they can do fucking anything with him. Wesley Matthews was playing phenomenal defense all series. All series. And they just... Coach Bud just fucked it up. This game, it says 108-95 to the 108-95 to the Celtics. It looks like the Celtics just ran away with it. But that game was in the Bucks' hand. The Bucks were winning for a majority of this game. It was just Coach Bud stopped having Wesley Matthews on Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum got hot, and then once he got hot, all of his shots just started falling. All of his sidestep threes, his tough jumpers, turn away faders, everything he was making. Everything he was shooting, he was making at that point. And Giannis tried, man. I'm telling you, Giannis had 20 rebounds, 6 assists, 44 points. Grayson Allen with 3 points. Grayson with 20. Oh my God. Grayson Allen and George Hill. Oh my God. George Hill, 1 rebound, 0 assists, 0 points in 20 minutes. Javon Carter is just soaking up time on the bench. Javon Carter, in 1 minute of basketball, had the same amount of rebounds and 2 more points than fucking George Hill. Javon Carter played a minute of basketball and did more than fucking George Hill. Absurd, man. Absurd. Coach Bud is an awful coach. But that, like I said, and I already talked about Game 7. That was clearly the best round of the playoffs. I mean, yeah, the best round of the playoffs. And it was the best series of the playoffs by far. Celtics versus Heat. Honestly, Miami got home court. I got Celtics in 6. Celtics 6, Celtics 7. Those long gaps and their offense from Miami, that shit is not... Their defense is immaculate. This is going to be a great defensive masterclass from both teams and both coaches. But I truly believe the offensive capabilities of the Celtics will overwhelm the Heat because the Heat just can't score at times. They did it against, I can't remember who they played in the first round. The Hawks. They did it against the Hawks. The Hawks don't play defense. And the Miami were at long stretches of time where they couldn't get a bucket. They did it against my Sixers, even without Embiid. That's why even without Embiid, Miami did those long stretches of time where they couldn't make a bucket. And that shit bit them in the ass for a while, but they worked out in the end. I think that long stretches of no offense is going to bite them in the ass. I got the Celtics in 6. Jason Tatum versus Jimmy Butler is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fun as hell. But personally, I got Celtics, man. I got Celtics in 6. I want Mavs Celtics finals. That's my prediction. Hopefully. Mavs Celtics finals, Warriors Celtics finals, Mavs Heat finals. Yeah. I don't want to see a Warriors Heat finals. No one wants to see that. I don't want to see that. No one wants to see that. I don't want to see that, but that would be fun. Those series would be fun. Game tonight. I wanted to record this yesterday, but I couldn't get it. Recording it today. Game tonight. I'm super hyped for that. I want this name to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I want the Heat to go crazy. I want a classic game one. I want a classic game one. I predict the Celtics to win this game. I think Celtics gonna win this game. Miami's gonna have some shame next game, and then it's up from there. That is all. That is all I have to say. Beautiful stretch of basketball so far. Hope it continues. This is your boy Kai D Park. Cash App in my bio and in the description. You know the vibes. Peace out.